have you with us. Well, first this hour, Russia has confirmed that it hit the Black Sea port of Odesa with high-precision missiles, destroying a Ukrainian naval boat. Saturday's rocket attack has been widely condemned, with the US saying it casts serious doubt on the credibility of Moscow's commitment to the deal struck with Kyiv to allow for the resumption of grain exports from Ukraine. Well, for the very latest, let's cross live now to Odesa, where our correspondent Gulliver Cragg is standing by. Gulliver, tell us what impact this missile strike will have concretely on this agreement that was signed just 24 hours before the strike.
Well, the Ukrainian side are saying that they still intend to proceed with the agreement, whilst at the same time roundly condemning Russia for attacking Odesa port just on the day after this agreement was signed. The Ukrainians have not confirmed that it was a naval boat that was hit. They see this as much more a sign from Russia of basically, as the spokesperson for the Ukrainian Foreign Ministry called it, a way of just spitting in the face of the United Nations and Turkey, who helped to broker the deal, a sign of disrespect. But at the same time, this deal is very important for Ukraine and for the world. Ukraine really wants to start these grain exports up again. And so for now, they are not calling this attack on Odesa a reason to stop the deal from going forward. But it's another question how the companies that are involved will react and how many people are going to want to be exporting via Ukrainian ports, the 3 Ukrainian ports that are covered in this deal going forward. I spoke today to a man who manages the grain silos in Kyiv region, and he said that for the moment they were continuing to use the routes that they have set up to try to export grain via the Danube River and via Poland, even though that's much more expensive and can't carry the same kind of volumes. Because, he said, they don't trust the Russians. They want to wait and see whether this deal really works out, and they're not going to start sending grain towards the southern ports in Odesa region just yet. And maybe other companies will have a similar attitude.
And Gulliver, a little more broadly speaking then, what is the latest in terms of the fighting on the southern front?
Well, there were no further strikes on Odesa overnight, but there were strikes on Mykolaiv, another port city in the south of Ukraine, which gets hit pretty much every day. I believe that although there was a lot of grain stocked in Mykolaiv at the beginning of the invasion, it's mostly been evacuated from there. So we can't say that these are strikes that are necessarily damaging or potentially hitting stocks of grain. But Mykolaiv certainly is another port that in peacetime is one of the main ports used for exporting grain. So the fact that Russia continues to pound Mykolaiv is being taken by the Ukrainians as a sign that Russia is not really very committed to getting grain exports up and running again. And then further afield, there were strikes on Khmelnytskyi region, which is in the sort of centre west-south of Ukraine today, a region that is very rarely hit.
We'll leave it there, Gulliver. That's our Ukrainian correspondent, Gulliver Cragg, reporting live from Odesa. In other world news,